I will be canceling my Craftsy membership. Welcome to the Sewing Report. I'm Jen, and this channel is all about making sewing and crafts fun and approachable for everyone. Let's talk about Craftsy. And I also want to let you know the reason I'm making this video is because I have endorsed the company in the past. I've also been an affiliate over the past few years, but I am no longer operating as such. So I kind of wanted to break down a history of the company and also what factored into my decision to cancel my premium membership. Now, Craftsy started off in 2011 offering a la carte crafting classes. You could sign up and then you could buy individual classes, and they were touted as being permanent classes. So you would always have access to them online. The classes were high quality. Obviously, a lot of stuff is available on YouTube, like this channel, The Sewing Report. But what I liked about Craftsy was that they offered really in-depth classes. So say you could take a course on different types of garment construction seams or something, and it would be several hours long. The instructor would also answer questions. They would have downloadable resources, and it was a really good place for knowledge and for learning. And I really feel like I enhanced my own sewing and quilting knowledge through this platform. So I have been a fan for a really long time. The company originally started off as independent. It was sold to NBC Universal in 2017, and I know a lot of customers, myself included, noticed a lot of changes to the company. They started offering a lot of non-crafting classes, and I did feel like the class quality changed a bit. Instead of being in-depth, some of them were more like surface level classes. They also tried to do a lot of like entertainment programming. And to be honest, that's not really why I signed up for Craftsy. And I personally didn't really watch that type of programming. I was there for the educational side. I just really wasn't interested in watching entertainment programming about people who crafted. You know, if you do, that's awesome. They were trying to kind of do different things. And I know a lot of you guys have commented that you did not like the NBC Universal acquisition, which is understandable. Now, throughout that time, I became a Craftsy customer at least 5 years ago. I think I started buying individual classes, and the price has also fluctuated for all of these things over the years. I remember classes used to be $40 or $50 each. Sometimes they would run really good sales, so it would be buy one, get one free or 50% off. So over the years, I've accumulated over 60 classes in my library. Some of them were free and some of them were paid. For a while, Bluprint was also offering a number of permanent classes if you signed up for an unlimited subscription. So Craftsy Unlimited started a few years after the initial business started. You would get access to all of the classes for one price. Now, I know many customers were not real happy with this, especially if you owned a lot of the permanent classes. You felt a little bit gypped because say you spent $1,000 on classes and then new members could get access to every single class Craftsy offered for, I think originally it was like $120 a year. You had already invested hundreds, thousands of dollars into the classes when all along, if they'd offered that from the beginning, you could do the subscription and then you could end up paying less out of pocket. So it kind of depends on where you started off with your Craftsy journey. I had bought some classes, not a ton. I probably invested at least a few $100s in classes before they came out with the Craftsy Unlimited. Then I did sign up for Craftsy Unlimited. The first year I got a really good deal. It was $120 annually, but then you got $100 in coupons to the Craftsy shop. And for a long time, Craftsy/Bluprint offered supplies shops, so you could get sewing kits. I bought quite a few supplies off of that online shop, and I thought they had some really great deals. I got some Liberty of London fabric. Last year, Bluprint announced that it was going to be shut down entirely. Obviously, the media industry and the more legacy entertainment and news outlets, you know, they've gone through some changes. So last year, we were hit by the news, kind of broadsided that Bluprint was going to be shutting down entirely. And I know everyone was kind of freaking out, like, are we going to lose all the forever classes? What's going to happen? So I know I did a few videos when that news came out because it was pretty jarring. And then it was announced that TN Marketing was going to be acquiring Bluprint. And then they decided to change the name back to Craftsy, which I've also talked about in the past. And I know this topic has gotten people like lit up and on fire. Since that change has occurred, they relaunched the Craftsy website. It kind of took a little bit for things to get up and running. And I was curious to see what direction TN Marketing would go with Craftsy. Now, TN Marketing owns a few different online communities, crafting, like woodworking, stuff like that. And two of the things they own are National Quilter Circle and National Sewing Circle. And when I first saw those communities, they seemed a little like scammy to me. I'm just being real here. They would have deals like get the first year for $1.99, and then after that it's $50 a year. And I had not signed up for either of those subscriptions, but I did get some comments on my previous Craftsy videos of people who had signed up for those things, and they said I've saw enough comments where I'll tell you about this, where these subscribers said that it was very hard to cancel the subscription. So they signed up, they were kind of lured in by that initial, $2 a year deal. And then they said when they got into the platform, it didn't really have great content. And then they said it was kind of hard to cancel, or that their credit card had continued to be charged even after they tried to cancel it. So I was a little bit worried about that happening to Craftsy, but I also wanted to give the company a chance to, to see what they were going to do. So it's been a few months. My subscription always renews in March. When you're seeing this, it will probably be like mid-February, I think. I was curious to see what was going to happen. Now, I don't know why the company never told me, but last March, I was only charged $65 for my annual Bluprint / Craftsy subscription. And that did roll over into the new acquisition. And I'll tell you kind of what went into my own decision to cancel my membership. One, I've actually not watched any classes since my credit card was last charged almost a year ago. And also the price going forward is going to be $79.99. As of February 2021, it's going to be $79.99 per year. And I kind of felt like for that price, and for me not watching any of the classes in the past year, at this point, it's not really worth me renewing and paying the $80. I'm pretty cheap. We canceled Netflix when it went from $11 to $13, so $80 a year for me is still a lot. So between that and also some of the changes I was seeing, a friend of mine sent me a screenshot a while ago. So she noticed that Craftsy, run by TN Marketing, was starting to run ads very similar to the National Sewing Circle and National Quilter Circle, where it says, get the first year for $249. After that, it's $79.99 a year. I feel that's a little sketchy. I don't really like when companies do that sort of thing. Like, you remember the Columbia House, like music clubs and that sort of thing? I do feel like that sort of thing seems a little fly by night to me, like too good to be true. You sign up and then they're going to make it harder for you to cancel. And that's what I've noticed when I've gone into my Craftsy account is in the past, when you would go to your Craftsy or Bluprint account, you could opt out of auto renewing online. And now when I go to the new website, you have to call to not renew your Craftsy premium membership. So there is apparently no way to do it online. So I feel like the company has created a hurdle for you to opt out. And I don't like that. I think it's a little sketchy, and I really don't like that business practice of making it harder for customers to cancel a subscription or a membership. I think companies should make it easy for customers and, rely on the product. If the product is good, someone's going to want to continue it. And if it's not, I don't think you should make it harder for customers to cancel. Now, I know you're like, oh, it's just a phone call. So I called the other day to cancel my membership, and I'll tell you what happened. I called during business hours, and I was on hold for about 20 minutes. And there is an option that you can choose to have them call you back. So after about 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. So they did call back. From the time I first called to the time when they called me to chat with a representative, it was about 30 minutes. So again, not horrible, but again, that is going to create a barrier for some customers that don't want to spend more than 30 minutes on the phone. So they called me and I said I wanted to opt out of the auto renewal on my credit card. So the representative did help me with that. And I asked her a few questions on the phone. She has said that I would still be able to get access to my forever classes in the library, even if I don't have a membership. She also told me there was some sort of lower priced option for $29.99 a year. You get access to fewer classes. And I asked her what was included in the lower price tier, and she couldn't really tell me. what was not included. So there's apparently two tiers, the $29.99 and the $79.99. The new Craftsy ownership, they're, I guess, going to be making new content, and they're doing like live streams and other sort of things. And I'm not really interested in new content. I really felt like a good move for Craftsy would be to just keep the existing library, not really worry about making new stuff, and offer it to customers for a pretty low price. They could still keep raking in the cash for a relatively low overhead, especially since you pretty much only have to staff maintaining the website and making sure things don't crash or anything. Maybe offer it for $30, $40 a year. I would be all in on that. For $79.99 a year, I am not. So that is why I decided to cancel my membership. And I'm going to update you guys to see if they really do opt me out of the cancellation. I did not get any sort of email confirmation that I had chosen to cancel the renewal, and I also didn't get any sort of confirmation number. So I have heard some stories already of customers who've tried to cancel and their credit card keeps getting charged. So if my card gets charged at the end of March, I'm going to be back here and letting you know. As a customer, that sort of business practice just kind of irks me. So that is why I decided to cancel my Craftsy Premium membership. And yes, believe me, if things start to go haywire, I'm going to be back here and giving you an update and also letting you know if everything went smoothly. And I'll also be sharing if I'm still able to access my over 60 Craftsy classes in the future, even without the membership. So I just wanted to give you guys an update and just chat about Craftsy. Let me know in the comments below if you've had a personal experience with Craftsy since the new ownership took an effect. I also want to say that I have nothing personal against the company. I don't wish them any ill will, and I'm also not making this video to encourage you to cancel your membership, but I did want to share my own experience and why I decided to cancel. I would definitely advocate for you to weigh things over yourself. Are you using it as much as you thought you would? And come to your own conclusion and make your own decision. Thank you so much for watching this video, and yeah, I'll be back for an update for sure. If you want to check out some of my previous videos about Craftsy, I will link them below in the description box and also up here so you can check those out as well. But I'll see you guys again in the next video. I'm Jen with the Sewing Report.